Hi all, welcome to another Chess 24 Banter Blitz. Okay, let's go to the challenges this morning. So the commutator is the first challenge. And I'll go to accept that. Let's just adjust my volume. I have a couple of things to adjust in this. Which I should have done before. Let's mute there. Sorry about this. Well, that's not quite there. It's a bit better. Okay, I think that'll do. Alright. Hi, commutator. Alright. Let's play the Sicilian defense. It's actually quite hot today here in London. Okay, I'll play a6. My cold's got a bit better. It's still got a little bit of it. It hasn't gone totally away, unfortunately. Not as bad as I think the start of it last week. As I missed, asks, how are you, Kingscrusher? Right. I hope not to be coughing too much now, because I think I've opened most of it. So, right. I didn't do that much streaming during the week, though. I was trying to take it easy. Mostly just a bit of chess. So, alright, let's see. So, I'm going to play knight takes and b5. This looks like a reasonable position so far. If I take and then b5, mind you, bishop takes is on my g7. I might have to play rook g8. Okay, so bishop takes and then rook g8. I do have to protect, I think, this. So rook g8 seems plausible. I think I'll try that. b5 and bishop b7. Okay, let's try b5 and bishop b7. That's the plan, I think. That looks like a plan. b5 and bishop b7. Can't see what else to do. I think White's played it very well so far. A lot of pressure. Looks pretty standard. B5, hang on. E5 is dangerous. D5, there might be a sack. Just in case, I'm thinking, shall I play... I'll be forfeiting castling rates if I play rook b8. So it depends how strong this is. If d5, bishop d5, ed, 95, queen moves somewhere. Do I survive that? If I gamble that it's not played, I can try and castle queenside. I've already forfeited casting over here, so let's see. Oh, there's another option maybe, which is rook b8. So let's say ed, bishop d6, castles queenside. Bishop b4. That might not be that bad. Bishop b4 there. Alright, so this hasn't been tested. It looks a bit scary, all this forcing move stuff. I have the belief that really you really need to prioritize all the forcing moves, and see them almost instantly. I remember commentary by Nigel Short and someone else. They just saw all the forcing move variations, even when commenting on other people's games, just instantly. It's like the first thing that, almost like by default, just see all the forcing stuff. So I mean, that's a little tip there for you guys. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not blasting off the board with e5 there. So this is pretty sharp stuff, I guess. Sharp position where the forcing move stuff is pretty razor sharp. So if I can castle queenside, king b8, rook c8. I think. King b8, rook c8. There's a lot of pressure here. But, how... Okay. Okay. If I kept things closed, that might be an option. The d takes. This opens up the f file, and it probably wins a pawn. I guess I should consider it to win a pawn there. On the other hand, d5. I'll go with d5. Let's not be greedy. I think d5 is more cozy. There's no... This diagonal could be a problem there. Okay, even now. Alright, let's just stop f5 for a moment. Whilst the knight's on b6, that's fine. Can I play king b8 and rook c8? Pile some pressure on with this doubling of the queen and rook here. Pile some pressure on c2. So then later, knight c5 to e4. I suppose bishop takes b5 needs to be calculated. Is it going to be played? Actually, it probably is quite tempting. But yeah, because of bishop a7s and stuff. Yeah. I might have to call bluff here because actually I just realised something. Queen a5, bishop a7, king a8. I can't see necessarily how that's winning. So I'm going to call the bluff here. I believe it might be a bluff anyway. This has been totally calculated. Okay, so knight b5, queen a5. I just don't see necessarily how I'm getting mated. I'm hitting b5. If I can get to play bishop c5, the worst would immediately be over, surely, about me mated on a7. Yeah, for some reason, this position, it didn't strike me as too terrifying. As long as I'm not getting mated on a7, that's the first thing to sort of make sure of. So let's see. I'm hitting the knight. The knight gets protected somehow. Maybe a4. You know, if took, then the king could come there and rook a1 later. On the other hand, b5 is still attacked. a4 I take. I'm still attacking b5. Knight moves, queen takes a7. These pieces seem hanging, actually. They seem to be a bit loose now. So again, I could call the bluff here. Queen a4. Knight moves, queen takes. It's a big question mark over how these pieces stay on the board. No? How do they stay on the board here? They don't. I just take here and then take on a7. Alright, king here. b4 shields my king on the b file. Okay, thanks for the game, commutator. Right. Graph. Okay, let's try b3. I have had some interesting games of this recently. That's why I'm trying this out here in this Blitz game. I like... no, I don't like to lose that bishop. Alright, I'll suffer a3 and bishop d3 inconvenience to keep that bishop on the board. I like both bishops pointing this way. So, queen g3. Because already I've had ideas in games knight g5, knight h7, even if h6, knight h7, because if takes queen g7. So yeah, I think it's a bit, I don't know if the word trappy is right for this. It looks as though more, not trappy, but there's kingside scrutiny. Should we just say in 3 words, kingside scrutiny, because you've got the bishops pointing at the king or the queen pointing at the king. You've got this pawn which is useful. It's the 2 pawn. If I had classic centre pawns, one of these bishops is going to be blocked in. Neither bishop is blocked in by the classic centre pawn duo. Knight g5 is, I think, already dangerous. Knight h5, queen h4 threatens queen takes because of takes, bishop h7 mate. That's another sort of theme here, that once you've got both bishops like this, they're cutting a lot of escape squares. So queen h5 is threatened. I just found these tactics quite fascinating in a recent tournament. Like here, it's possible to play queen h5. Believe it or not, I played this online tournament just on a mobile phone and iPad later a few weeks back, and I had some brilliant games which I wasn't able to do commentary. So that's why also I want to sort of, let's see this tactic. So I think it's working here, you know. Or is it? Bishop takes g5 is probably a good move. Not takes because of queen h8. Bishop takes g5, queen h3, e5, f5. I still think it's worth a punt. It might be worth a punt. Let's assume it's worth a punt. What about bishop g6 instead? Bishop g5, bishop g6. Yeah, I basically had this experience a few weeks back where I felt I was not getting anywhere with the standard opening, so I started playing b3 and got big positions because people were just improvising as though literally I went from playing almost like, felt like really strong opponents to like, it was like playing beginners. I hate to say that, but it's a lot of people without opening theory. It's like you're playing beginners or something. You know, no, I mean that. I mean statistically, I was playing a bunch of 2300s at a certain time limit with Smith-Morrow gambits, mainstream stuff, getting a nice queen's pawn, getting ground down in a lot of those games positionally. I started playing b3, which facilitates this kind of just point some pieces at the opponent's king, get them out of opening theory and get them improvising. It's like you're playing beginners after. So if you ever try that, if you're ever getting massacred in some tournament, just try switching your opening to b3 sometimes. It is quite a dangerous weapon, I believe. But I think I might have been biased. It helped. I think the ratings lowered a bit as well. So bishop takes g6 here looks plausible. So if he takes queen g6 is mate, this just loses the bishop. Yeah. Now queen h6 here gets the queens off. I can deprive getting the queens off here. I think also bishop h7 is mating because it takes rook f7. If takes, that's mating. If king g8, rook g7 is mating, king h8, queen h6. So bishop h7, to recap, if we look at the forcing move sequence here, takes rook f7, check. Doesn't matter what black does there, I think. King h8, queen h6, king g7, rook g7, king h8, queen h6. So this looks like crushing. Bishop h7 for rook f7. Now my calculations might not be perfect. I'm hoping they are correct here. I'm hoping. It seems logical to get a rook to the 7th here. So rook takes, queen takes. Yeah. Right, thanks for the game, Graf von Pellen. Thanks. Okay. Okay. 2700. Okay, am I gonna get am I gonna get murdered here? Oh, crikey. Now I've played the game with leader 0 in this line, and actually I think it's quite good fun for black. You provoke f4, then you do this. She played this against me, and I thought it was very, very annoying. Okay, there's a check here. This is kind of, I think, theoretical. Now I think there's bishop a6. I think I'm out of my book. Unfortunately, I don't usually play this line. I feel I'm out of my book. If I just lost the piece. If takes, yeah, I'm losing a piece. This bishop seems trapped. It seems already diabolical. Unless there's something I'm missing here. It seems already pretty diabolical. Okay. It looks as though a3 is trapping my bishop. I could give bishop c5 a punt. I don't think it's worth it though. I think, yeah, this looks lost. You know what? I think without further ado, I don't know, I think I'm going to resign it. Well played. Well played. I just don't know the theory that well. Thanks. Okay, didn't get out of the opening there. Shelling Ford. Okay, let's try c4 here. I think we've had this position before, and it's okay for me. I quite enjoy this position. I think there's actually something wrong with black's position already. If this, I mean, statistically I've done well from this position, because there's an issue with f7 and the f file, which I usually tap into with e4. I'm happy with this so far. e4. Okay, maybe not e4 here, e3. Is knight d5 possible? Knight d5. So why wouldn't knight d5 be winning material? I'm going to find out here. Because that knight's pinned to f7. Right, I think the knight's pinned to f7. I don't think it matters at the moment about knight d4. It looks good. Bishop e3. Bishop e3. f5 to follow. It looks pretty good. Just bishop e3 here. There's still a nasty pin on the knight. Okay, you can exchange queens. I'm still threatening. Surely I'm still threatening f5 here. I could bring the bishop back, I think. f5 looks a big threat in the position. Even here, I could crash a rook to the 7th rank with f5, unless there's something stronger. I don't know, it does seem to run in my favour most of this, doesn't it? it's activating this rook fundamentally. If we look at this variation with f5 takes, I'm activating this rook. That pawn's slightly vulnerable, but there's a trade-off going on. I've got an active rook crashing down to the 7th. I can get a central bishop later as well. I think I'll go through this sequence because of, if bishop moves e7, there's always rook f7, double the rooks. It looks, I think this is unpleasant still for black. D5 looks very unpleasant. I don't know about D takes looks immediately winning actually because of E7 check and rook f8. He can't take because of E7 check and then rook f8. But he could play bishop E7. Is that really the idea? I mean, it might be, but that looks pleasant enough with rook f7. I didn't see that. That's a good one, isn't it? So there's a pin on my e3 here. Okay. Oh, okay. Is there bishop a4 to try and win some material? The exchange at least. I don't like his bishop pair necessarily. Just trying to nab some material here. Because I think taking takes like my e3. So I'm trying to just win an exchange. Okay, but there's always f7, isn't there? Like here, alright, can I remain a pawn up if I play bishop f4? No, there's a check. Okay. Okay, that was very resourceful. I can't play this necessarily because there's a check. Okay, I'm a pawn up in this rook and pawning. I was hoping for more. I was hoping for more, really. Okay. But anyway, let's try and grind this. Okay. Okay, I'll accept a draw if he wants. Unless he wants to try and outplay me. Put him down. Okay. let's see tactically. I think there must be opportunities. In a longer game, I think there's a very important expression. If you see a good move, look for a stronger one. I think there must be opportunity here. Let's just have a look. It looked close to being, in some lines, knockout blow, but my initial thought was d5. There's two connected pass pawns. There's not much to calculate. It's like two connected pass pawns look lethal. So I played d takes, which I thought was winning, but I'm missing this loose piece on e3. So I think the play simply, just intuitively, d5 to keep that nice network of the two connected pass pawns. It looks like plus 4.6. Yeah, I just thought this was. I didn't see this. That was a blunder. Now, bishop a4 is a good move, apparently. Yeah, because if I took here takes is on this, And there's no f7 because he's on the f7. That doesn't look like a big deal, actually. So bishop a4 is the only thing. And it's... So I did take... I go wrong here again, don't I? With this. Okay, so bishop d7. And then there's still e6 after. So where does the bishop go? Well, I just... It's quite easy to see in retrospect. Alright, bishop d7. Okay. Okay, thanks. Yeah, okay. That was silly. I mean, by both of us. I mean, maybe. So Azul missed, yeah. Okay. Right, I've had this recently. I think bishop e7 is my concession. Now, I have played g6, but as long as white's... Oh, we've had this last week, didn't we? So as long as white's not killing me on the dark squares, I know it looks a ridiculous thing to do, but I don't think it's fatal necessarily. Right, so bishop g4 here. Now, as long as this rook's on, as long as my king doesn't have to come out on bishop f7, and there'll be things like knight g5, this looks okay. So bishop e2, bishop e2. It doesn't. I guess he doesn't have to play bishop e2. Okay, let's try and keep some tension in the game actually with this. Try and open up this f file. I was quickly looking at their takes and knight e5 and thought queen e2. I didn't see a big deal there. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Rook e8, and then what is a good plan here actually? Yeah, this knight g5 is a concern. Rook d8 d5 is, or rook e8 f. No, that's asking for it. I can cover my h6 square here with king g7. That queen h6 could be annoying with knight g5. So let's stop that business, naughty business, in its tracks. Okay, f6 now. If I play knight e5, see, that's a bit stereotypical. Maybe it's okay to take on b3 here. Maybe. Or is that? Okay, I'll take on b3. Sort of getting out of this pin business. But knight d5 is a concern. Actually, knight d4 to f5 is also a concern. Alright, let's go back for a moment then. Let's hit that guy. f5 and knight e6 is a concern. I'm on the back foot here, aren't I? I've got to challenge that knight, otherwise horrible things happen. I can take in the knight f5 here. No? Let me have the f5 square, basically. with that e5. That downside is actually a total downfall of the entire white position, playing e5 potentially. Small weakness of the last move there is going into this fork now. So white's losing an exchange, isn't he? I could lose the exchange back quite easily to knight d5 or knight e4 after. I see. Yeah. Dangerous. Let's do it anyway. Let's play c5 immediately to get out of this pin before this business of knight d5 or knight e4. Although I weakened d5, small concession trade-off, weakened d5 to keep my exchange up for a moment. So, rook f5. I'm covering d5 now, though, surely. With, say, queen e6 later. And then there's queen e3. If g4... Yeah, g4. Alright. If he wants to play g4, he can play g4. I'm not sure that's that great anyway. Maybe I'll just move the rook back. I'm just concerned about the d5 square. Maybe it's more visual having a knight on d5 now. If the queen's not on that diagonal, it's more visual than functional, probably. There's rook e2 coming up. Okay. In which case, this rook e2, yeah, and this d6 is a bit uncomfortable. Queen f6, knight d5, queen d4. Alright, let's go with queen f6. G4, rook f4, maybe. So if knight d5, queen d4. I think if g4, rook f4, if knight d5, queen d4. Alright, what's the matter with queen d4 then? Let's check this out. I think it's okay. So I'm uprooting that knight, aren't I? The knight's going to be problematic. Or not. Okay, d5, g4. About g5 then. g4, rook f4. If he takes here, okay. Let's do this to keep an eye on d5. Which means maybe d5 without too much. Okay, nope, there's still problems there. I can take that. Alright, fence the game as almost. Okay. On I'm going to play knight c6. Am I? Depends really. I should wait for the first move really. Okay. I could invite French defense. I'm concerned. Okay, c5. And snake Benoni. Is that too risky? Or just Benoni? Or maybe with bishop e7 as an experiment here with bishop e7. See what some differences are. Right, it's playing as if it is Benoni. There are some key differences. I still might be able to play on some dark squares. d6 is still an issue. Actually, I've got some entanglement here. Issues. Knight c4 is like a thematic thing to hit d6 hard. I think someone said on YouTube once, Benoni is like son of sorrow. I looked it up, son of sorrow. So, okay. As far as I can see, the d6 pawn is one of the main concerns in the Benoni. So knight f6. Well, that bishop's the target now. If knight b3, I might have to take on c3 and take on e4. But there is a bonus here about giving away this bishop. I haven't compromised these dark squares as badly as the main Benoni. So if I have to give up this bishop, it's both less cost, basically, associated with neglecting dark squares around here. So let's see. It's an option to just to take and then knight e4 on knight b3. If I take the knight e4, if knight c4, I can still put part of the pressure on e4 here, as though I'm going to take. And knight g4 for knight h2, queen h4 is dangerous. No, that is a dangerous threat. Knight h2. Even if knight b3, knight h2. Whilst this bishop's cutting one escape square and one only, you almost get mating combinations out of cutting one escape square. It's weird in chess how brutal things are. So knight takes h2, king takes, check. It's crushing as far as I can see. Pretty brutal tactic. I can't see anything wrong with it. Might have to give up the queen. Queen h3. Okay, so d6 is still a problem though. It's still a game because my d6 is dropping off. I can't take this for granted. The rook on the third rank could be a pain. So I need to think about this. How can I efficiently play this position after g takes? Bishop f2 for queen g3. Bishop f2. It seems as though g3 is vulnerable here. These pieces are not helping g3 there. So queen g3, queen h3 will be threatening like to mate. How do the knights help g3? They can't. This one actually, no, it can. Knight e2. Right, knight e2. Okay, anything better than... Just notice this b5, b4 will be winning a piece. If I just hold for a moment. Is the opponent disconnected on me? Ah, a bit worried now. Just trying to calculate this stuff. Bishop f2. Let's try bishop f2 for a moment. Is he disconnected? It's usually me, isn't it? No, last week. Alright, thanks for the game on him. I think I'm better here anyway. I mean, it should be with the queen up. But no, there's compensation. It's not such a big deal. It's only like plus 2 point, plus 3. Alright, anyway, so, okay. Simba. I'm trying to see what he does to the 96. So, yeah. Oh, there's bishop d6. I might have to castle queenside. Just to hold d6. Because if g5, bishop d6, queen f6 after. Unless that's good for me. Let's imagine g5 and bishop g7. It's on a7. Is e5 dangerous? It might be. Maybe knight h5. Try and get rid of this. This bishop. Queen e4, bishop g7 while the knight's still holding g7. If he wants to hit my rook. I could play d5 here maybe. I don't think there's a sack on d5. Play d5 first. I'd like to bring down... I'm thinking even this bishop. It's not going to do that for a long time. So maybe... there's h5, h4. Knight d4, is that crushing? h5, h4. Alright, so a6 and the knight d4 will be more effective. So if I play a6 for a moment. And still knight d4, knight c6, queen b6. That's dangerous. c5 here for d4. c5 stops rook b4. I've got this dark square bishop, right? I need to celebrate somehow dark square bishop at some point. Queen c7, d4. And queen c7, queen g5, bishop e7. I think queen c7... Right, now he's off g5 as well. What's wrong with queen c7 out of interest? I just want to... Yeah. Oh, maybe... Okay. Okay, I'm giving him a nice knight here. But he's closed down his bishop. Giving him a nice knight on e4. Oh, I could double the rooks. There's bishop e4, bishop c8. I think bishop e4, bishop c8 for a moment. I'm feeling queen e5 potentially. There's rook f4 here, just to get him to go back on that. Is that useful? Bishop g4 also seems interesting. Rook b7, queen b7. Rook f4 seems interesting. I don't want to lose on time necessarily. Thinking about this too much. Let's just do this for a moment. So I'm a whole minute down. What about just queen e5, bishop d6 later? Let's get out of that for a moment. Because I think there's bishop b7 and discovered checks. I want to take here without too much controversy. Okay, can I weaken these dark squares a bit? And let's get a nice bishop on d4 at least. In fact, bishop g4 would have been interesting. Around here. It's got queen b6 if nothing else. Bishop e6 if we took king b7. Let's get rid of this d5 bishop. Hang on, I'm on f2. Wait. I'm on f2 here. Let's do that anyway. Rook d7. No, I should have doubled the rooks actually. Okay. Oh, crikey. Oh. Okay, yeah. Very good. Well played. Oh. Okay. My stomach kept growling. I don't know if you... I gave you some free bonus sound effects there. Yeah. Why are people giving me this position? It seems virtually winning. I don't know. Oh, maybe that's biased. I don't know. It looks as though... Okay, it's not winning. I mean, I take that back. It looks as though I love this position, the knight on e5. There's a lack of tension here in the center here. Okay, there's an e4 issue. It's not that straightforward. There's an e4 issue for sure. Okay, yeah, that's painful. The way he's playing it, painful. Actually, I didn't realise this masterful manoeuvring around e4 would happen. So there you go. Yeah, this is going to go downhill. Yeah, I think I'm worse now. I'm changing the assessment to worse. If I play king h2, and try and use the G file, or not. Rook G1. Is that G file any good? If I can double the rooks. I'm going to play bishop b3 for rook c2. How do I double the rooks here? Is it rook g2 or rook g4? Which is better? Rook g2 or rook g4? Maybe rook g2 is better because it safeguards against rook f2 in the future. And also the e2 pawn. I think I'll go with this. Attacking defensive. So bishop g5, can I kick the queen out? I have to blockade against the e3 because this bishop's liberated. Bishop g5 is not doing anything. There's bishop f6 after it. So I'm playing queen e3 and bishop f6. Just check out e3 immediately. Queen e3. Might give him counterplay. e3 immediately. And rook g4, there's not rook f2 yet. Can I not just checkmate the queen with rook g5, rook g4? It'll be rook f2, bishop f2, queen f2. Okay, I want to just test this for a moment. Just test it here. Is the queen getting out of that or going to h5? I can tolerate rook f2 here. In this position, with the rook there, I can still tolerate it, surely. Alright, so bishop g5, bishop f6 then. Coordination, mass coordination. On g7. Rook g6, queen h8. Queen h6, rook g6, queen h8. It's queen h6 here. If it takes rook g8. If g6, rook g6 takes queen h8. Queen h6 looks like another pin. So it's pinning that pawn actually. I'm still threatening. Queen h7 takes rook g8. I'm still threatening rook g7. I don't know if that's too crazy. Queen h6 immediately. Bishop g7 is probably also good. Queen h6. Queen d7. Maybe queen h6 immediately, whilst he can't untangle that easily. And there's queen d7, bishop g7, rook g7, rook g7. I'm not entirely sure, actually, about queen d7 in particular. Actually, there's also rook f6. Am I just losing after rook f6? Crap. Why am I thinking rook f6 here? Yeah, rook f6. That was too speculative. Too speculative. I think he just does rook f6. Oh. Maybe queen h7, and it's not the end of the world necessarily. Rook h6 takes rook g8, win the queen over there. So if I've got persistent pressure after queen h7, it's on e2, that would be lethal on e2. I can play rook g7 as a discovered check to defend here. So rook g7, trying to invoke discovery, defense, rook g2, check. So again, rook g7, I've still got a discovery, defense. King e8, queen h5, drag the king back. King f8. I think. Queen h7 after. Mow the lawn. Just mow the lawn. Queen h5, king f8, queen h7. Get the king back first. Oh, it's not check. I said a blackout there. Oh, Muppets. I was somehow overconfident here. I think I might miss something horrible. Might have missed, well, apart from what I missed. Just, I needed to play queen h6, didn't I? Let's have a quick look. And there's king g3 anyway. Even, Yeah, okay. But if we step back, oh, my pets. Just rook g8 was a mate in 2. Oh, there's a mate in 2. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. For some reason, yeah, I thought I was improving the position, but yeah, needed that discovered check. That's the way it goes. Okay. A bit deflated, I guess, after that. D4. Queen A4. E4. Bishop E4. Bishop D5. I think E4 for Queen H5. E4 for Queen H5. If I had this position, it looks pretty tasty. Alright, just even with knight saying, it looks like fun. It looks like fun. Although F6, yeah, okay, maybe F6 is after taking F6. I've been playing too many games against Leader Zero. I think that was pretty dumb of me, actually, before this session, to just wear myself out before even playing here. I don't usually do that. So that's my excuse today. I've just worn myself out already. So, Queen H4 or Bishop F6. Bishop F6 looks as though it's not doing anything, because actually there's even Queen E6. So F6 is happening. Alright, so, okay, what about Bishop E3 for a moment then? Try and get this F file. F5, Queen H4. So note to self, don't play against AI before this session. Takes an F4. I still think there might be some sort of something going on. Takes an F4, some sort of attack. Example, with that H-pawn chipped, if F5 takes and Bishop D5 could be dangerous in some lines. If I take and then F4 takes F5. I think takes and then F4. Well, this is dangerous with the H-pawn chipped. I think I'm going to play Bishop D5. Now there is okay, Bishop E6, Bishop E4. Okay, there's the repetition offer, is that? I'll push my luck, you know. I've just seen something, Rook G4 idea. If I can bring some more attacking stuff in here with Rook G4. Also, this pawn, there's a check there to try and win the rook sometimes. And there's queen f7 defends. Okay, there's a few little ideas here. With the isolated e pawn, it doesn't seem to me that easy to play here for black necessarily. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe d4, just trying to open the center file, which means I have rook e8 available after doubling. I can shut down the f-file with f4, and that means g5 is a big deal. So that means I can double rooks now, potentially. And this, yeah, so. I have to hold on to h3, queen d7. If knight b8, queen d5. That's unfortunate, I have to do that sort of stuff. Oh, there's rook g3, isn't there? There's rook g3. I've just realised. Okay, I'm getting slaughtered. I should have maybe gone for that draw earlier. Crikey. Okay, this doesn't look entirely good. Still not very good. Feels a bit of a let off, considering the time situation. If one is short of time, one really wants to checkmate. So keeping the queens on in general is probably often the more practical thing to do rather than simplify. Yeah, I think keeping the queens on and going for the kill was the way to play it. It's still dangerous for me. I'm nearly getting mated here with my king there. This is really funny. Okay, I'm nearly getting mated. How am I? Crikey. Okay, what about f6? f6. I get the d5 square for a moment. I get the f5 square with this. So if check, king f5. Okay. How dangerous is this? Is this mega dangerous still? Oh, rook e7. Hang on. Then there's rook g7. Yeah. And there's rook h1. Yeah, I was totally let off, of course, there. Jan has beaten me before, it seems, unless that was a connection issue. Well played. I deserve to be murdered there. Horrible crush. Okay, so I don't know. Sometimes these silly ideas, they take my fancy in the Blitz. Yeah, so yeah, like unsound stuff. So yeah, okay. Sanket. There's a moral victory for my opponent. I claim a moral victory for my opponent. Right, let's sink it around. Alright, might have to go to another game here. Okay, I've confused my opponent on the first move. This is like the tango variation. So if you're a fan of Scent of a Woman, there was a reference to the tango in that. If you mess up, you just tango on. There's a quotation in there. But the tango, the knight is tangoing over there, like dancing, a dance maneuver or something. But you're provoking dark square weaknesses, which means the bishop's usually quite good. The dark square bishop is usually quite good in this structure. So you can tuck it away on a7 or swap it off. Don't prefer that to that. Trade off there, you're giving control of f4 and d4 when you double. I'd rather have f4 for a knight. Let them take to get f4 for a knight. With my rook on h8, I can still play h5, h4 here. I guess this is a sort of dual purpose. A lot of my openings seem to be very, very good for the as many rounds as you can play tournaments, but also probably for this sort of thing. If I can win games quickly, then I get to play more of you. So in both contexts, playing, I don't know if it's a totally trappy opening. It just seems a quick point scorer in a lot of my games, this kind of system. Especially, I guess it's a sort of fishing pole mechanism more than some sort of general specific trap. It's just a fishing pole mechanism. But with the f4 compromised, this seems to be a lot more dangerous now. With the dark square bishops gone, pawns on light squares, f4 compromised, I can start brewing attack here with queen f6, rook h6, rook g6, which I've done on many, many, many bullet games. So queen f6, rook h6 to g6. If that h file opens up, in fact, queen g5 threatens knight h3. I should have considered queen g5, which I've used many occasions as well. Queen g5 for knight h3 to hit the queen. I can keep that in reserve for moments. There's also rook h6 to g6. I mean, there's also queen h4. I mean, these are all pretty tempting. Let's imagine queen g5, rook d1. It just protects the queen. It's not such a big deal, is it? It is, because knight h2 and I'm threatening queen g2. It's not just about this tactic, it's about g2. If I play queen g5, threatening knight takes, queen takes, and also knight takes, queen takes, mate. So yeah, queen g5 would have been strong. By the way, this has no bite to it. There's a space here without any bite. You can see that without the potential for undermining my pawn chain. In the King's Engine, you have a lot of potential for really wrecking the opponent's pawn chain here, because it's closed. It doesn't really matter about this. The space advantage doesn't have any teeth to it, it seems. I mean, maybe I'm biased, but okay. This activates the rook. It means now this is even more lethal than before. Queen h4, knight h3. Queen G5 here to threaten knight H3, and also G takes. If he took, I take. Okay, I've got this E5 square. The threat here is G takes immediately, surely. G3 might be a resource, so I can't take this on my queen. Rook H3, you can take on F4. It's getting to the stage where it's getting more difficult to play, I think, now. Although, yeah, I think Queen G5 earlier would have been more effective than this approach. There is G3, I guess, on taking. G3. Use the pen for defensive purpose here. I thought so. This looks too strong, this position. Look on the 7th is to be celebrated. Alright, we've got an end game now. I didn't realise we'd get an end game, so that's good news for my opponent. Right, get these rooks activated. Maybe G6 here. Actually, no, this isn't over, is it? Check is needed to try and defend this. Okay, thanks for the game. Right. This is a bullet game, is it? We're playing a bullet game. Not too much time for commentary. Yeah. No, you don't really want to play me on bullet. Honestly, it's not good for you if you challenge me on bullet. Okay, but anyway, thanks. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Okay, Queen D7, but there's no time for commentary, really. Yeah, that's the problem for me. I try and separate my on my YouTube channel. I try not to put any bullet anymore. I try and separate because it's commentary-less usually. So I try and separate my. I keep all my bullet stuff on Twitch, Kingscrusher. Mostly, as a general rule, this year I want to sort of focus on the master games on the main channel, and I make an exception for these Blitz sessions because there was a bit of commentary, basically. Maybe some other stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to keep my Twitch for the bullet stuff. But yeah, there's something I just find bullet chess quite relaxing, actually. Because actually it really is just a lot more on intuition. It really is less on calculation. There's less calculation strain. So for me. Alright, so knight g6 and then h4. It's been a very, very good average opposition today. So yeah, thanks. Thanks for all those strong players that want to just crush me to humiliate me in front of a live audience with me trying to do commentary. Yeah, thanks. I really appreciate it. No, it's fun, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going in with this h4. I know it's like crude, but it's kind of positional as well because I'm activating this rook. Active pieces, clearly positional h4. He could try and... he's not going to pin, surely. I know there's a bit of a liability there, but it's protected by the queen at the moment. I mean, he's just letting me have a very, very nice looking position. Rook h3 looks very strong. From a practical point of view, rook h3. I think it's protecting f2, but if I get in knight g4, the pressure just mounts. Alright, I can just try and double hand. This is getting the queens off. g5, queen f6. What about king f7 instead? Did I miss a shot? Oh, I might have missed a shot here. This might not be so good now. Oh, crikey. Because his bishop e3 is going to be a pain. Because of c7. c7 is the big problem. If he plays bishop e3 in doubles, I'm going to be uncomfortable on that c7 shit soon. Isn't that okay? Is there g5 here? If takes, there's rook h3 after. Is there g5 or not? Right. Is there rook? No. Right. Queen e7. Because if he takes rook c7, king f6. Yeah, I think the problem with rook h3, there was a problem with rook h3. Because he crashes through rook c7 after. I can't afford rook h3. Because if takes rook c7, crashing through. That's an evil choice. Knight f7, rook g8 looks good still. If I have knight g5 later as well, it still looks okay. As far as I'm aware. Knight f7, rook g8. Right. Isn't there rook f4 here to drag a rook back? Kicking in the street, screaming, drag this rook back. Get off my 7th rank. Rook f4. Oh, maybe not to be then. I can get this for defending f7. Just realised this defends f7. Alright, so there's rook f2 here, isn't there? Try and mate here at this rate with king h4, king g3, rook h3, rook h2 mating. If I have my king on g3, then rook h3 and rook h2 is mating. f7 is adequately defended at the moment. Let's drag this king back. Hang on, why don't I just play this out of interest? Is that too easy? He's gone into a pin and win. Okay. Oh, that was a fun session. I think the average rating of today's session must be up there in the top 10 of all sessions. Surely, average opposition today is really cool. Thanks. So, yeah, I didn't show the become a premium member screen. If you want to challenge me, check out this discount code, voucher code Kingscrusher, if you want 15% off. So basically the general procedure is you become a premium member so you can send challenges off 20 to 30 minutes before the scheduled thing, and so you get into this challenge list, and then you can just be, the challenges just get accepted after. So I'm hoping some of you will consider becoming a premium member. Okay, so yeah, but you know, like one fun 10 boring. I thought it was quite fun today. I don't know. Or maybe I'm biased. One fun 10 boring. What would you vote here? If you let me know, that'd be cool. Otherwise, have a good Sunday. Yeah. So see you next week then, as well. Okay. Thanks so much.